Good morning, my name is Selena Kitchener.
Hi, I'm Carly Manel.
And my name is Abigail Bagalar, and our fourth partner, Jennifer Elliott, could not be here today as she's presenting at our high school graduation. Our company is Mudslide Prevention Material, or MPM.
This video is actual footage we shot while up in Montecito. We went there to witness the actual destruction we had seen all over the news, but seeing it in person was unlike anything we had ever witnessed before. We hope that we can prevent this from ever happening again. Liquefaction mudslides bring mass destruction to places near unstable hillsides. When a hill is burned and then receives heavy rainfall, the soil saturates and the hill gives way. We hope to create a super hydrophobic coating on a biodegradable medium to repel rainwater and ultimately prevent mudslides from occurring.
Our goal is to create a super hydrophobic biodegradable granular medium that can prevent a liquefaction mudslide by repelling rainwater before saturation occurs. This product will have nanoposts that are 300 nanometers tall that prevent the water from interacting with the surface, causing it to ball up and roll off. This type of coating will be applied to a biodegradable granular medium, and ideally the coating will wear off after 1 to 2 months of use, after the danger of a mudslide has passed. This will allow for the all-natural medium to biodegrade and let plants regrow to naturally stabilize the area. This product will be implemented similarly to flame retardant. This will reduce manual labor and ensure an even coating on any area at risk of a mudslide. When we actually spoke to the fire department in Montecito, they confirmed that this would be the most effective way to distribute this type of product.
There are only 2 competitors for our product. The first is sandbags, cost $1.06 per bag, plus the manual labor to fill them and then put them out. Sandbags do not prevent mudslides. All they do is divert the already existing mud flow. Our second competitor is hydroseeding, which costs about 18 cents per square foot of coverage. Hydroseeding plants seeds in the ground to promote fast plant growth. However, that takes up to a week to work, which makes it virtually obsolete in a time of true crisis. Our product is a bit more expensive, costing about 27 cents per square foot of coverage. However, it would be ready to use immediately, and it's overall more effective.
A biodegradable granular medium made of plant starches and a vegetable oil resin costs 2 cents per square foot of coverage. The super hydrophobic coating for the medium costs an average of 75 cents per square foot of coverage, but since the liquid can be reused approximately 3 times, as the medium is soaked and not sprayed, the cost is brought down to 25 cents, bringing the total cost of our product to 27 cents per square foot of coverage. We would charge $1.50 for 1 square foot of coverage. According to the Center for American Progress, the federal government spends an average of $45.3 million in disaster relief each year. This makes the cost of our product, even for a large area, minimal compared to the average federal spending in disaster relief and the hundreds of millions of dollars in damages and hundreds of lives that our product could save. Overall, we are asking for only $215,000 for the first year's funding and the beginning steps as laid out in our timeline.
First, we will apply for a utility patent to protect our idea, which can take 1 to 2 months to do and around a year to receive. During this time, we will conduct further testing to ensure that our formula is effective. After this, we will get certification from the United States Department of Agriculture to ensure that our product is safe to use in the environment. This can take anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks. After this, we will begin to produce and manufacture our product.
Our next step will be to create a website and begin to advertise to local governments, which may take anywhere from 2 to 4 months. Then we will begin to sell our product and ship it out to buyers. We may also begin advertising to individual consumers within 4 to 6 months. Lastly, we hope to pay back our investors and continue to develop our product within 8 months.
We would begin by only marketing to local governments, as they have the resources to implement this product and they can prevent large-scale disasters like the Montecito mudslide. Eventually, we would begin to sell to homeowners associations, as they can protect small communities, and eventually to individual consumers through local stores to protect their personal backyards.
Eventually, our product can be expanded into different versions. These versions could include adding seeds to promote plant growth once the medium biodegrades, adapting the implementation to be used in flood prevention and water diversion, and, as previously stated, expanding the market to reach homeowners associations and individual consumers. By evolving our product in these ways, our materials could be used in more situations and reach a larger audience. With further research and testing, our product could save hundreds of millions of dollars and, more importantly, hundreds of lives around the world each year. We would like to thank the citizens of Montecito and the Montecito Fire Department for opening their doors to us and starting a conversation about how to prevent a travesty like this from happening again. Thank you.
So you're missing one of your team members.
Yes.
And as we all know, when you work in a team, it's not only your own strengths which are important, it's being able to identify the strengths in all of your other team members and contribute equally. How early on did you know that your team member couldn't be part of it, and how did you distribute the efforts? I see that if she's out of the photo.
Yeah.
But how did you work on that?
We knew pretty early on that she wasn't going to be able to attend Nanovation because we knew when our graduation was going to be. So that didn't really affect how we worked, but it did affect how we split up the presentation, obviously. This is from the day that we went up to Montecito, which she also she wasn't available for. But we worked really well together overall, and all of the research was us working together. It was just the presentation and the few outside of school things that she sadly couldn't attend.
And that was a passion. This issue is a passion for all of you, and you wanted to do this. This was your choice.
Yes, definitely.
Great.
I have a hypothetical which has been going through my mind since I read your proposal. So let's say there's a widespread area that is subject to flooding, but it crosses two county lines. One area is on one county line and the other is in another county, okay? So the flood happens and one county has a governmental entity has agreed to go with your plan and the other hasn't. What happens? Is there enough of your product on the ground to help with the flood on the area that's not covered by your product? And how would a scenario like that unfold with your product, where one area is bought in and the other hasn't?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Thank you. I think it depends on where the county is brought up, because I think we would need it towards the top of the hill as to where everything comes down. So it would depend on which one was positioned. It may be more crucial. If they decide not to go with us, then that's going to be their problem, I think. Sorry if you don't want to take over, but it also depends on where the positioning is at. I think that'll be crucial, and I'm not sure exactly what happens with flame retardant with that as well. I did not find anything on that, but I'm sure that might be a dispute they have as well, so I'm not sure. Yes. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, and also with our product, with mudslides in general, as much water as you can prevent from seeping into the hillside is going to help. So even if only half of the area that we wanted to be able to cover was covered, it would help in the long run. How much, we don't know, but it would still.
Can you talk to me a little bit more about the product itself? So you talked about a sort of a nano rough surface, but how does this interact with the granular nature of dirt? The goal is to let the water run off and not soak in so you don't mobilize mud. So you still have a water runoff problem, but running water is not as destructive as running mud. So I'm okay with that part. But how there's big pores in dirt. So how does this product actually work and how does it interact with the dirt? You got a great business plan, but I'm very confused about the engineering details.
Okay. One thing we would really like to look into and include in our product is an adhesive quality to make sure it doesn't, when it's placed on a hill, it doesn't roll down, which would defeat its whole purpose. So we'd really want it to either adhere to the surface it's on or to itself to make it not roll off when water hits it. If that kind of answers your question.
Well, no,
More
specifically, what exactly is it? What does it look like?
Okay, we have a picture of it actually on one of the first slides. This is of a different product that we were inspired by and we would look at down in the bottom left corner. It would look similar to that. We would hope.
It's a material called Matterby, and usually it's actually melted down and made into like plastic sheets basically, but we actually did testing for one of our school projects that involved this idea, and in that we discovered that a granular material was better than
A bulkier one.
Yeah, like a
bulkier
mulch or
one.
something like
So it's like a fine grain that has a super hydrophobic quality, and then it would just be distributed out.
like pellets.
Yeah.
And
The
then
surface of the grains are super.
Or super hydrophobic.
yeah,
Yes.
when we put the coating onto it,
Okay, so then the
Yeah.
question is, they're pellets, they're hydrophobic. Will water not still percolate through them and get into the ground below?
It will, especially since you can't guarantee a full coverage, but limiting the amount of water to avoid saturation is what will prevent all that mud coming down and causing boulders to roll down and take homes and lives.
yeah, and how much the water percolates through it is something
Right.
that we would definitely need to look into
more.
on a larger scale.
We have time for one more question, if there's one more.
Quick question. Is there a shelf life for this?
Yeah, so it lasts about 3 years in storage on its own. So like
Yeah.
it can last up to 3 years in storage. And then
One of its qualities is obviously it's biodegradable, since plant life needs to be able to regrow and it can't without water. So after the danger of the mudslide is passed and that insane rain season is passed, the coating would eventually wear away, and everything is all natural. That's a really important part of our project. And then since the medium is biodegradable and all natural, it'll biodegrade, and that'll allow for plants to regrow naturally and have the hill naturally stabilized, which is our ideal.
So what is the byproduct after it biodegrades?
I believe it's oxygen and water.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's all natural.
That was a really important part when we were researching materials and what we would look into.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.